Welcome to the Mic'd Up Podcast. This is week 2. I'm your host, Michael Krupp. This is my co-host.
Christian Johnson.
All right, we're going to jump right in. First, we want to talk about, you wanted to talk about the Texas A&M.
Oh, yeah. Fuck Weimer. Fuck Weimer. 6 passes to him, only like 5 of them drops. Yeah, fuck you. I know you're not watching, but fuck you if you are. But in all seriousness, I do blame you for losing that game. I'm like only somewhat an A&M fan, but yeah,
Well,
Weimer, it's your fault. I mean,
I'm rewatching the game in first half and you're down 17-0. I'm sure he didn't affect it too much.
Okay, don't get me wrong. Like Calzada did kind of suck at the end, but fuck you, Weimer, because you really fucked us at the end. Like you like bent us over. It's bad. Okay. Sorry, I had to go on a little rant.
Rant over.
Yeah.
Rant over.
There's few things that pissed me off this last week more than Weimer. I don't know if he plays tight end or receiver or whatever the fuck he plays, but he cannot catch worth a shit. He was looking like the Steelers this last week out here.
Speaking of catching shit, I'm surprised the refs in the Ravens game didn't catch that false start. Or not false start, delay game.
Honestly, I didn't watch that game, but yeah, that kick that happened
wish I
afterwards.
didn't.
That kick that happened afterwards was amazing. 66 yards, dude. I can't fucking kick an extra point. So that was crazy. I wonder if that record's going to be beat soon. Because you see all
Speaking
these
of kicking, the Lions would probably just kick the bucket at this point. It's just not meant to happen.
Yeah.
Well, 0-16 coming this year.
You see how football is like progressing, like players are getting better and stuff. I wonder how long it's going to take for somebody to break the 66-yard record. Like Arizona tried for a 69-yard field goal. If they would have hit that would have been the record.
And then it went for a 109-yard return.
You see all these like kickers and stuff kicking like 70-yard field goals and stuff during warm-ups. I know warm-ups are different than an actual game, like a lot different. But they're getting pretty close now, and it's kind of exciting to see because like the last record was 62, 63 yards. So 3 yards is a pretty drastic difference, like on a field goal kick, which I'm kind of impressed with. And I'm wondering, like, will we see like a 70-yard field goal by the end of like 2030 by 2030-ish?
Only if the GOAT himself, Pat McAfee, comes back to kick field goals.
Yeah. Honestly, though, you see all these new talented kickers coming out. I'm kind of like, maybe we can end up kicking a 70-yard field goal eventually. Like, it might not be too long. If we keep going up 4 yards every.
I think a lot of it has to do with conditions also.
Yeah, I mean,
I think the wind at your back will help.
Wasn't it in the?
This one was indoors.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It was at Ford Stadium.
I think he could have made it easily if he was outdoors, wind at his back. That's actually how most records are broken, especially kicking wise.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you can probably drain like a 70, maybe more yard field goal without pads and without pressure. And he's pretty old as well. He's not like really new to the league.
So. Justin Tucker, he's not that old, kicker wise.
I meant like he's not like a college player fresh out, like still at the top of his strength and stuff. He's a lot more accuracy and stuff now as well. So I'm wondering if like you have like some kicker coming from college with a boomer and just kick a 70-yarder. It's weird though. It's awesome to see like how
31.
That's pretty old. I mean, like you're not at your best, I don't think, around them. But
he's probably like 6-7 years out of college.
It's just interesting to see how like players like progress and stuff and how the league is changing and getting more talented and stuff. Like who would have thought 10 years ago you would see like a quarterback like Patrick Mahomes again? Like you see they saw Aaron Rodgers and they thought that was the best kicker that could ever live. Best quarterback that could ever live. Now you have people like Patrick Mahomes that are like, okay, maybe he's the best quarterback that'll ever live. It's just weird to see how it progresses like that.
I think a lot of it has to do with there's always new things coming out on how to train, how to do all these sorts of things. So it's always going to progress.
We'll eventually hit a curve, though. Like there's eventually a point at which like people probably won't keep getting better without like drugs or like implants or some shit. So I think because we're right now like if
that'll probably happen once the NFL converts to flag football.
Honestly. These new rules are kind of stupid. With
Even Tom Brady was bashing the pass interference rules.
Tom Brady is from a different time though, so it's kind of weird. And I get what the NFL does with their passenger PI rules because they don't receiver is really easy. Receiver and especially tight end are big positions to get concussions a lot from with those high velocity impacts. So I understand what the league is doing when they add those in, but it would be cool if like maybe pass interference, if it's just like hand on hand, and would go to like down to 10 yards instead of 15. Like I get targeting is 15 yards, I get that, but maybe PI shouldn't be 10 yards from the spot of the foul instead of 15.
I think it should be a spot foul up to 15 yards.
Up to 15 yards. So you think it should
So
push
if it happens at 12 yards, I think you bring it up 12.
All right. Fair enough.
Because
What else?
now you got instead of throwing game winning Hail Marys, you're throwing game winning pass interferences.
Yeah. We
Go
really
down there and
just
flop it and
skipped right over college and went straight to the NFL today. Let's go back a little bit. How about Arkansas? They're impressive.
what did I say last week?
You said that you're rooting for them. It's like your team that you hope wins.
I'm a believer.
They play Georgia this week, so you better believe in them. You could argue that Georgia.
My belief is going to waver a little bit. I think Georgia might be the best team in college football. But I think Arkansas is a top 5, maybe top 4.
So you think Arkansas will keep it close and lose, or what do you think?
I think it all comes down to how Arkansas's quarterback's health is.
The quarterback is amazing. Just watching him, he's like a running back that can somewhat throw. He's kind of like Lamar Jackson. So that's how I
he
see
can
him.
somewhat throw. He's better than Lamar Jackson.
Yeah. Any other college games that you want to hit on?
That Ole Miss Bama game is going to be big. Ole Miss always plays Bama close. Matt Corrals.
Poor Vanderbilt. 63-0 and like 35 points scored in the first quarter. And then like not only that, but apparently it was a lot worse if you were watching it because like Georgia really just stopped trying.
I didn't want to watch because I don't want the cops busting my door for me being an accomplice to a murder.
Honestly, that was fucking great. Did you see the Georgia Southern player, I think it was, that was shotgunning a beer or chugging a beer on top of a school bus on the way to the game? Oh my God. He got suspended. But it's like this real country dude, like standing on top of the school bus as it drives through the crowds, and somebody tosses him up a beer. He just opens it and starts chugging on top of the school bus as it's driving.
That gives
Like
me Connor McNally vibes.
Dude, Teen Wolf style. Like, it was amazing. Connor was awesome. Amazing personality.
You also got LSU playing Auburn this week. I think that's a make or break for both teams.
Yeah, Auburn's looking pretty good this. Never mind.
Bo Nix got benched. Let's see if he starts this year, which actually interesting. So TJ Finley, the quarterback that came in for Bo Nix at the end of the game last week, actually was at LSU last year, and actually was the initial one to take over the job when our starter got hurt, who was actually beat out by our quarterback now. So if TJ Finley starts,
he also knows y'all's defense.
We have a new defensive coordinator.
Oh, he's used to playing against the players at least. He knows how the players react.
But
that might be an issue.
So it's kind of interesting. I always felt like TJ Finley was the better quarterback. I'm not a big Max Johnson fan. I'll support him as long as he's my starting quarterback. But there's something that bothers me about left-handed quarterbacks.
I honestly think LSU is going to win because I think Auburn's overrated. But at the same time,
I think we win because it's a not game in Death Valley. I think that's what saves us.
I just don't. I think Auburn's overrated, and I think LSU will beat them. But I do like Auburn as a team, so it's hard for me to go against them. So I'm rooting for Auburn, but I think they're going to lose.
Well, I'm rooting for a fuck you. Go Tigers. LSU Tigers. Fuck, Auburn's a Tiger too. Not the real Tigers, but go buy you Bengals.
Okay, fair enough. Speaking of the Bengals, Those Bengals are looking
Legit.
actually pretty
They're
good
legit,
now.
bro.
That
I
Burrow
know you were
Chase.
hesitant about the Chase draft choice.
Oh no, I'm starting to like it now. I'm seeing it. I root for Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow is I like him. I'm not saying I'm like a Cincinnati Bengals fan. I'm not a
I
bandwagon.
think Joe Burrow is as close as you get to perfect as you can get in this world.
I won't go that far, but I root for Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow is like one of those people that he kind of reminds me of Baker Mayfield, though I'm not a huge Baker Mayfield fan, but his personality kind of reminds me of him. Less cocky, less outward cockiness, but you can tell he's cocky on the inside, if that makes sense.
There's two men in this world that if I was locked in a closet with for 24
Ryan
hours, I don't
Reynolds
know
and
what
Joe
I'd
Burrow.
do. Ryan Reynolds and Joe Burrow.
Yeah, honestly. Uh, you
It's
want to go ahead and go to the tier list since we're on the topic of NFL teams?
yep.
So we're going to do an NFL tier list, rank all the NFL teams, see where they place in our own opinions. Well, Michael's opinion because he's the one making it. I'll just be here to give feedback.
Speaking of Bengals, they're number one.
No, Bengals are not S class. Bengals are B class right now.
Actually, we can rename them. Super Bowl.
The Bungles. There's a few teams I'm not even sure where I'm going to put because it's still really early on in the season. They're like
Playoff.
it's like, yeah, we've seen 3 games, so we're going to try and make judgments on something.
Decent. Bad.
New York.
I thought about it.
Honestly, it would be fairly accurate. Johnny Manziel, bad. Fair enough.
So let's
Beat
start
by
with the
college
Bengals.
teams. Bengals, I'll put Bengals under decent.
Yeah, and in fact, by category, farthest to the left is the better of that category. So I think Buffalo, not Buffalo, the Bengals are far left of decent, so almost playoff.
So for Super Bowl, do we have to? Does it have to be only 2 in the Super Bowl category? Or can we have
No,
multiple?
it's Super Bowl hopefuls,
Okay.
ones that really have a legit chance.
So I would say Rams, definitely.
Let's just go one by one.
Okay. 49ers. I
Playoff.
put 49ers. I would put them decent. I wouldn't say playoff.
It's so tough
They
because
got-
the NFC
they
West.
got-
I think the NFC West has.
They got shit on by Green Bay though.
No, it was a pretty close game up until the end. I think at the end it
mean-
was still close.
Okay, fair enough. Put them in playoff, I guess.
Uh,
I would
let's
put them in
see.
decent.
They
I don't
lost
think they're gonna-
30-28
I don't think they're
And
going to
that-
hold it unless
that's
Trey Lance
right.
comes in.
because they had the lead and 37 seconds left and no timeouts. Aaron Rodgers led them to a game-winning field goal.
Yeah.
So
Honestly, though, I still think they're going to choke it. I don't think they're going to make it playoffs.
I think they're just
They
in a
might.
very tough division because you got the Cardinals, the Seahawks, the 49ers, and the Rams all in that division.
Yeah.
I think that's easily 4 playoff teams. I don't think they're all going to make the playoffs, but they're all.
Sorry, Chicago's XFL. Yeah, I didn't mean to interrupt.
I don't even think it's talent reasons why they're there. I think it's coaching and all the decision makers.
It's not Justin Fields' fault, but honestly, it might be the offensive lines as well.
Matt Nagy's so bad. I think he threw the game. I think he threw the play calling on purpose just to validate his choice to go with Andy Dalton to start.
Okay. Green Bay playoff.
Playoffs.
I kind of want to say Super Bowl.
No, I'm leaning decent,
I'm like,
but I think playoff is.
Aaron Rodgers is starting to get a swagger back, and after seeing how much he loved that game last week, I think he's going to start going on a tear again. I'm not even a Green Bay fan.
But the dude won the MVP last year, and he doesn't play well in big games. He plays well in big moments, not in big games.
Well, I'm not saying he's going to win the Super Bowl or even go to the Super Bowl. I'm just saying he's a Super Bowl hopeful.
I think it's. I don't think they're quite there.
Cardinals. I would say Cardinals are a Super Bowl hopeful. I think their defense is doing good and their offense is kicking ass.
Once again, I bring it back to the division. I don't think they're the best team in that division.
Who would you? I mean
The
the Rams,
Rams.
but still, I would put the Rams up there too. But I'm saying it's between the Rams and the, it's between the Rams and Cards for who's going to win this or get to the Super Bowl, in my opinion.
No, you still got the Bucks. You still got the Saints. I think the Saints are still low-key playoff contenders.
I would put
Uh,
Cards in the Super Bowl. You can put them in wherever you want.
Cowboys.
I think Cards beat all of them. Well, maybe not the Rams. I don't think they beat the Rams, but
I don't think they beat the Bucks.
I would say they have the chance. I'd say they have a chance.
I think the Cardinals have a chance to beat anybody, but
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'd put them in,
so
Super
I
Bowl.
think the 49ers have a chance to beat everyone. I think the Packers have a chance to beat everybody.
No, I think I would definitely put Arizona in Super Bowl, but that's just me. You thinking?
I'm having a hard time because I mean I recall the last year too, and they had that really hot start, and next thing
I
you know
think
they can't beat the Bears to make the playoffs.
now that was also because of their defense. Now they have a pretty good defense.
But their
They have a
offense was pretty shitty last year towards the end too. Kyler Murray kept making mistakes.
Didn't Kyler Murray get like injured for a game or something?
One game doesn't influence the rest of the season, or
An
he up
injury
to that
does.
point.
An injury does.
Pretty much after week 4 or 5, he was bad decision making.
I think the Super Bowls will make a difference. I think the Super Bowl. I think the Cardinals will make a difference this year, and they will end up being a Super Bowl contender. I don't think
I
they'll
have a
make it
hard
to the
time
Super
believing they'll
Bowl.
make the playoffs. I think they're good enough. I really think they're good enough.
I definitely think they make the. Remember how easy it is to make the playoffs now. Like
Yeah,
they're
but
picking 8 teams,
with their division,
12 teams.
you,
Is it 12
you're
teams now?
talking. It's 7 per. It's 7 per
So
conference.
14 teams. Jesus Christ. So yeah, they Cards definitely at least make it to the playoffs. They're definitely a top 14 team.
You got to be a top 7 in their division. Top 14 doesn't matter because 7 go to the other division.
I would say they're a top 7 in the NFC.
I do too, but I think with their
So
division,
you at least have to put them in playoffs.
well, I think with their division, I think they walk away with too many losses. Talent wise, yes, but
I think they'll definitely.
I think you at least give one loss for every player in their division, for every team in their division. I'll give one loss for every road game. I'll give one loss for the Rams. I mean, another loss to the Rams. I think the Rams sweep them this year.
They'll win some home games. I think the Cards will be Super Bowl contenders. That's just me though. Yeah, it's your list. Put them wherever you want.
I'm gonna put them in playoffs. That's still iffy to me, but I'll put them top just in case my opinion changes.
Colts, I would say, are
decent. I think the talent's there. I think that you got to put it together. I think they walk away number 1 in the FC South.
Seahawks, I love, and I think the Seahawks will get hotter, but I don't see them. I'd still put them in decent for right now. So I can't go off of what I think they'll do. Even though I'm a big Seahawks fan, but I think
that's what I'm feeling about the Cardinals. I mean, you know what they can do, but history just repeats itself.
Now. The thing is, the Cardinals are doing it right now. The Seahawks are not doing anything. They're 1-2 right now.
I think they're 2-1. Yeah, they're 2-1.
Generally, so I don't see them.
No, they're 1-2. They're 1-2. They barely lost to the Titans. That's what it was in overtime.
Yeah. Texans, I would put under bad. I wouldn't put them under XFL, but they're bad.
They're surprising me. I think opposite of the Bears. I think it's talent holding them back, not coaching and heart.
Yeah. Jags, I'd put under XFL. Sorry, Trevor.
So bad. I think they are the worst team in football.
Yeah. Chargers, I'd put under Super Bowl contenders. Chargers are undefeated. They have a really solid team this year. They haven't shown any bad things. I would definitely put them under Super Bowl. and they're in the AFC. So they beat the Chiefs. Yeah, I like
San
the
Diego's
Chargers
not.
better.
I mean, not San Diego. Oh, the Chargers aren't undefeated.
I thought they were 3-0. Oh, they lost to
Lost to the
Dallas. Okay.
Cowboys.
Some of the Cowboys are good, but I'd still put Chargers and I'd still put Chargers under Super Bowl.
You are a believer in like 3 weeks of bullshit so far.
Well, I can't go off of what I don't see.
You can go off
I
previous.
can't go
You can go off
if I go off
history repeating itself.
A lot of these teams are like play different every year. Like the Chargers don't play the same every year. 2 years ago, the Chargers were absolute dog shit. Last year they were mediocre. I think that they're good this year.
I just same thing with the Colts. I think their window hasn't the Super Bowl window hasn't opened yet.
I think it definitely has because they're beating like Super Bowl contenders like the Chiefs.
I still think the Chiefs walk away with their division.
Chiefs are the last in their division right now.
I don't. I think the Raiders are a better team than the Chargers.
I would say Chargers are Super Bowl. I'd put Raiders under playoff. And Raiders haven't really played. Have they? I don't think they've really played anybody other than the Ravens.
They haven't played the Rams.
I said Ravens, not Rams.
Beat the Dolphins. Dolphins would go under decent for me.
Yeah, but still, it's not like they haven't beat any playoff teams.
Beat the
Raiders
Steelers too.
Steelers lost to the Bengals.
The Bengals are legit, I think, but
No, but I'd still put the Steelers under bad this season. You want to put them under playoffs? Okay.
yeah, I think Cowboys are my first Super Bowl.
I like
team.
Justin Herbert, so I believe in the Chargers making it to the Super Bowl. For the AFC.
I don't believe in their defense.
Okay.
I don't believe it. Cowboys are my
Super Bowl.
What do you think?
I can see them. I'd put them under Super Bowl contenders. I don't think they're going to the Super Bowl. I can see them.
I think they're I think they'll be the second best team in the NFC.
I think
I have my predictions have Cowboys losing to the Rams in the NFC Championship.
My top three in the NFC right now are Rams, Cards, then Cowboys. Giants, XFL.
I should make a whole nother tier.
New York tier.
Let's just go ahead and get this out of the way too.
Yeah. Can we like create another tier just for those teams? No, it's all good. Panthers.
Decent. They're undefeated right now, but I don't think they're.
You don't think they're playoff contenders in the AFC?
No.
The AFC
they haven't played anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, they played the Saints, but I mean, they've beaten the Jets and the Texans in their other two games.
They beat the Saints bad too, though. And the Saints are looking decent this year, or are playoff contenders at least this year. So that's why I would put on playoff.
Once again, I think their division's too difficult.
Honestly, I haven't seen enough of the Panthers. I haven't watched a single Panthers game. And
They pulled away from the Texans at the end of the game.
Yeah, well, Texans have been doing decent.
Barely beat the Jets.
Other than Dolphins.
And they beat a Saints team that hasn't been home in about a month. They've been practicing in Dallas. They've been playing in Florida.
I'm
for their
between
home
playoffs
games.
and decent right now as well, but I haven't seen enough of them to like make a good statement. I don't know a single person that watches the Panthers either, so I don't think they know. Saints, I would put under. I don't even fucking know. Jameis is very sporadic.
I think Michael Thomas coming back will help a little bit.
I'd still put decent. I'd put Saints decent higher than the Bengals. That's just me.
I can see that.
Eagles.
Bad.
I don't know. I kind of want to put Eagles in XFL right now after that ass whooping yesterday. Like, how do you let like?
But they played the Cowboys. Cowboys are good. I can't put them in the same category as these other four teams. As much as I'm not a fan of Jalen Hurts and think he's overrated.
Vikings are a playoff
Decent.
team. You think they're decent, not playoff?
I can't get behind the team. I believe in them. I'm actually somewhat a Vikings fan.
You don't like Justin
Like I
Jefferson?
just
You don't believe in
I,
Justin Jefferson?
I don't think Justin Jefferson affects the game as much as to make the playoffs.
Okay. Bills Super Bowl contenders.
Yes,
Pretty easy.
I, I feel like we're about to disagree right here.
Patriots. I put them under decent.
Okay, maybe we might agree. I thought you were going to playoffs with them.
No, actually, I was between decent and bad, to be honest.
Okay, that's about where I was.
Broncos, I put them under decent as well. Broncos haven't played shit. You're talking about the Chargers not playing anybody?
You want to talk about
Broncos haven't
like,
played.
you want to talk about a roster though, a playoff caliber roster.
But like they haven't played anybody. You're giving shit to the Panthers for not playing anybody. You have to give shit to the Broncos for not playing.
Yeah, but
anybody.
you also look at the roster.
All right, let's be fair. Broncos have not played shit. You can't say
You want to look at
they
their
haven't-
you want to look at their roster.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, shit, not Carolina, Denver.
Pretty good roster. Who they have as cute? They have Teddy Bridgewater right now, right?
And as a game manager, he should be enough. That was their biggest missing link.
Their defense is honestly what's carrying them right now, I think. I still don't put on that play.
Let's look at receiver. Cortland Sutton, top 15 receiver, maybe top 10.
If you put the Broncos in playoffs, you really shouldn't be putting the Chiefs in playoffs.
What?
So if you're putting the Broncos in playoffs, then you shouldn't be putting the Chiefs in the playoffs because they're in the same
shouldn't.
division. Yeah, you shouldn't.
Why shouldn't I?
Because the Chiefs are in the same division and stuff. They have a pretty good, solid division.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
So, because you said you wanted to put the Chiefs in the playoffs.
Is this supposed to be a team that they don't have?
I don't know. Rams play Super Bowl.
We have, yeah. They're my Super Bowl favorites to win it.
I think they're most people's. Stafford is doing crazy. Their defense is good.
Lions.
Lions I'd actually put under. I don't know, between decent and bad. I would say bad.
I like decent, but the
There's
way
so
their
many
luck's been
bad
falling
games.
is just the way the games are falling. Results are bad. Playing is decent.
Yeah, results are bad. They get unlucky a lot.
Kinda bad.
Yeah, honestly.
Browns.
I'd put them as Super Bowl. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're the lowest of the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I don't see them like winning the Super Bowl or anything, but I like them. They're good. I know you don't like them, but wow.
I do. I think the only thing keeping them from Super Bowl is Lamar and running and injuries too. But
Atlanta.
Before or after New York? I got to put them before the Giants because they beat the Giants.
Yeah, I was kind of like maybe bad.
No.
I mean, I think
they're so bad.
The Falcons the Falcons could be everybody in that XFL tier.
No, I would have the Bears beating the Falcons.
Really? Yeah, maybe. I kind of see it. Chiefs, you won Chiefs in playoff, right? You looking something up?
Yeah. I mean, the Bears beat the Bengals.
Actually, that is a pretty good qualifier.
That almost makes me want to prove them up to bad, but no, I can't.
Wait, was that like the Bengals' first game though?
Second game. So the Bengals beat forget who to start off.
They beat the Steelers last week. Maybe we should move Bengals like lower on the decent.
They beat the
list.
Vikings.
I don't think
What?
the Bengals would be. I said maybe we should move the Bengals down on the decent tier list because I don't think the Bengals would be.
Well, they beat the
Seahawks.
Vikings, so we need to keep them above the Vikings.
Yeah, I want to put them above the Seahawks. I think the Seahawks could take them.
I like that.
Okay.
I think they're better than every team behind them.
Who are they playing this week? They might actually. I thought, aren't they like playing the Panthers?
The Jaguars on Thursday.
Oh, well, if they lose to them, I guess we move them down to bad.
But then they get Green Bay at home the following week.
That'll be a good test. They're going to get their ass kicked, I think, but it's a good test.
Joe Burrow needs to get the interceptions under control.
It's not even.
But besides that, their offense is legit.
Yeah, but
I think their defense is serviceable.
Yeah, but their defense is going to get torn apart by Aaron Rodgers.
Same thing about Green Bay's defense. Green Bay's defense is absolute dog shit right now.
Green Bay had some good corners.
No, they got to start playing like good corners.
I thought their corners would maybe be able to shut down Jamar Chase. Anyways,
and then if you shut down Jamar Chase, you still got Tyler Boyd and T. Higgins.
KC playoff. You said you wanted them in playoffs.
Yeah, and I would put them ahead of the two teams that beat them.
Yeah, honestly.
There's something about them that it reminds me of Tom Brady on the Patriots when they would have a slow start, or an Alabama team having a slow start. They're just going to hit the groove.
Has Alabama ever had like a truly slow start where they've lost?
Not terribly, but
like
a tough start for Bama is a close game in the beginning.
Yeah, against the
or letting an FCS team score a touchdown
against number 14 Miami. It's
Bama let FCS East score 7 points. They beat FCS East 72-7. How did they let them score?
Yeah, fucking crazy. All right, back on topic. You want to put Bucks at Super Bowl?
Yep.
Yeah, I can't ever go against Tom Brady. So I think anytime.
Part of the reason I put him there, I think these teams are better. I think the Tom Brady factor could have them very well beat every one of these teams.
Anytime Tom Brady's on a team, you just have to put him in Super Bowl contention. He literally makes it half of the time he's been in starting any season.
Over half.
Yeah, it's like he's probably going to make it. Statistics wise, he's probable to make it. If you were in a statistics course, you had to have one player on a team every time, you'd always choose Tom Brady because he has the best statistical chance of making. Dolphins. I put Dolphins under decent.
End of decent.
Yeah.
Nope.
Dog bad.
I think until Tua gets back, and even if Tua gets back, I don't know if he's enough.
Dolphins are kind of off and on. It seems like they just.
They don't have Fitzmagic anymore, so.
Yeah.
I think that's their big switch.
Raiders, Las Vegas Raiders. Yeah, I definitely put them in playoff contention. I mean, but looking at their schedule, they're probably guaranteed a playoff. I don't think they play anybody.
Especially when you got to play a sorry-ass team like the Chiefs twice a year.
But
let's get the Rams again.
Why are the Rams on there twice?
I don't know. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. Okay, so there's just 2 extra.
Titans. I have no clue. Titans offense is sometimes scary good, but
I think decent's where they're at. I think they're not over the hump yet, but I think they're about a 500 team.
Yeah, I mean, definitely above the Seahawks. They beat them, so. Steelers. Oh, why am I going to Steelers? The Washington football team.
Either here or here.
We need more people on bad, so I'd say bad. You can't just have half the league being decent.
Well, half the league is decent.
I mean, I'd still put them in bad.
There's not as many shitty teams and good teams. Most of them are middle of the pack.
I would still put them at top of bad because the receiving threat. I like Taylor Heinicke. He doesn't really have. He has Taylor McLaurin. I think that's his name. As a receiving threat, that's about it. I mean, he has a good defense. Defensive line at least. Steelers, fucking XFL. They lost to the Bengals.
Bengals are legit.
Yeah, I'd still put them in XFL. Yeah,
At the end of
actually,
the day,
never mind. Never
that
mind.
defense is good. Steelers are
Yeah,
Steelers are the Steelers.
put the Steelers above the Texans actually, because I think they would beat every team below them. Yeah, I think the Steelers would beat
Just to
Lions.
reiterate our point,
I think the Steelers would beat the Lions though as well. That's the weird thing. I don't know why we have the Lions so high.
I think the Lions are a better team. I just think the Lions are going to Lions.
Yeah, but still, I think the Steelers would beat the Lions. Now, do the Steelers beat the Redskins?
I like it like that.
Now I'm questioning whether I think like the Steelers would beat the Redskins or the Dolphins would beat the Redskins. I don't think the Dolphins would. I think the Steelers might. Never mind.
I think it's where it's played will determine that.
Yeah, Big Ben is not good for that team. How many times do we need to tell you, old man? I mean, to be fair, we said the same thing to Tom Brady. We've been saying the same thing to Tom Brady since he was like 30. It's crazy that we keep thinking he's going to retire, and he's just like, no, I'm good. Let me win another Super Bowl. Put another ring on it. Dude, fucking Tom Brady. I'm so happy I get to live to see the greatest football player of all time play. Frustrates me sorely. Okay, what else? Anything else?
Let's see. I want to do this too.
You might have to edit this part out. I'm not gonna lie.
Probably not.
It's kind of a long, awkward silence.
Let's see.
You can find it kind of easily. You can find it kind of easily too because it's after the tier list. What is this?
Oh.
SEC tier list?
Is that what you're saying right now?
Yeah, control minus. It's zoomed in. My lighting is so off. Sorry to the one other person than us that watches this.
No joke.
Oh, hi, Connor.
All right. SEC tier list. Since we're both pretty invested.
A&M best.
After this week.
No.
But we can start off here.
Vanderbilt, we need to like create its own tier. Like Vanderbilt is FBS.
Let's just do that. That's easy enough.
Can we make D tier and just put FBS and keep Vanderbilt by itself in that? South Carolina doesn't belong in high school contender. They belong in worse, but not high school contender.
I think Vanderbilt beat South Carolina, honestly.
I thought South Carolina won their first game pretty well with like some random coach or something playing quarterback.
South Carolina's pretty bad, dude.
I'm not saying that, but they're not Vanderbilt. They're not get beat by 66 by Georgia and still or apparently the game was even worse than it looked. Bad.
But they lost 40-13 to Georgia. Won by 3 points against East Carolina.
I mean, still they kept it closer, way closer than Vandy did. I would put them in worse, and they'll be at the bottom of worst. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they're going to be like high end worst, but I think Vanderbilt deserves its own spot for the star that it is.
I think my HDMI cable is going out.
Your TV, you're not able to see your TV anymore.
My monitor, it keeps blinking out. I'll just have to change the cord.
It's okay.
Arkansas.
Yeah. Can
I
we
think they're
move
in
South
best.
Carolina? Can we move South Carolina to worst and just keep Vanderbilt in its own category, please? Thank you. It'll be at the bottom of worst, but Vanderbilt does not deserve to be like anywhere on this list. Like, can we just delete Vanderbilt's picture? Okay, Auburn. Auburn, I would put in pretender. First, also, let's just put Alabama at the top, beginning of best.
We'll get to that point later.
All right,
Because I don't think they're
Florida.
the number one
Florida is
contender.
You'd say contender. I don't think they're contending for the SEC championship though.
I think they're good. I think they're Florida.
Yeah, but they're not content. I mean, they kept it close with Alabama. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they're
I
a
think
bad
they're
team.
Florida. I think they're gonna be a very good football team. Just
I don't think they're gonna make it to the SEC.
I think at any
championship.
other division conference they're in,
Who did they play
they
last week?
win.
One second, I'm looking it up.
Tennessee.
Oh yeah, it was close for a while. They got
Close going into
and-
halftime, and they kind of pulled away.
yeah. It was. I was surprised Tennessee was doing so well. It kind of made me like
Tennessee. I've been watching their games. They're.
they're
We'll talk about
interesting.
Tennessee when we get to that.
Yeah. Missouri. I haven't seen shit about Missouri. I don't know how Missouri is.
Do you want to put them before or after South Carolina?
Before
I'm just gonna. Yeah.
South Carolina is one of those schools it doesn't matter. I think it's because you're highlighted on contender.
There we go.
Kentucky. Again, I have zero fucking clue. Put them above Auburn. Put them above ranked Auburn. Okay.
It's a rank. No, I don't think Kentucky's ranked. Kentucky should be ranked.
LSU, high school contender.
Yeah, definitely.
I know I put them under
Low end contender.
Wow. Okay.
It hurts coming from me, but I don't think this year we're contending.
Yeah, I would not.
I still think we beat Arkansas this year. I do think we beat Arkansas. I think we match up against Arkansas pretty well.
Okay. Y'all's D line is like the best part of y'all's team, so maybe. Ole Miss, yeah, Ole Miss I'd put up there. I'm surprised you didn't put them in best, to be honest.
There's three. There's only have 3 teams going in best.
Alabama, Georgia, and Arkansas.
Yep.
A&M I would put between Florida and Ole Miss. I think A&M beats Florida.
Not until with Haynes King, yes.
I don't know. I think with Haynes King we could beat Arkansas as well, but
I think right now we are at. I feel like y'all are just mentally beat this year.
I think with Haynes King we could beat Arkansas. I would still say we could beat Florida. It would be a close game though.
I can see it.
Keep it close. Why not? Tennessee. Tennessee is pretender, but I don't know where in pretender they would get.
Honestly, I don't have y'all beating us this year, but that's because it's at LSU.
I think we beat y'all still this year, but that's just me. And I am very biased, and you are very biased. So
yeah, we've been through this before, but
Mississippi State, I have zero fucking clue. I don't know where they are.
I want to put them in worse, but I think they're decent.
I think you'll want to put Georgia at the head of the best, but I would put Alabama still at the head of best until Georgia starts playing.
Look at what Georgia's doing this year, and look what Bama's doing this year.
Georgia beat Clemson, but Clemson then just went and lost to an FCS school. So
they
it's
didn't
like,
lose to an FCS school.
They beat Clemson just lost to another team. That's why they're
North Carolina, NC State, North Carolina State, who's a team in their own conference.
Did they also almost?
They're not an FCS school. They're a Power 5 school.
Did they also lose to another school?
Georgia.
I thought it was close with the other one as well.
They're 2-2.
One sec.
They played close to everybody.
They played close Georgia Tech and South Carolina State. Actually, South Carolina State wasn't close at all, but they kept it close with Georgia Tech. I would
Georgia Tech's
say
a good defensive team.
I would say that Georgia is still yet to prove themselves higher than Alabama. Alabama just has to be number one in the SEC every year because statistically they take it like 90% of the time. They take more national championships than Tom Brady takes Super Bowls, which is saying something.
I
So
just
I know you get.
going
I know
off.
you.
I've been
I know.
watching the games
I know
and
you think
watching games.
Georgia's.
I think Georgia looks way more impressive.
I know you think Georgia is like a more physically active and aggressive team and stuff, but until they prove themselves, I think Alabama should always be number one.
You're totally like reversing the argument from the NFL tier list.
What do you mean?
Me saying Arizona needs to prove themselves.
You mean Alabama?
That's what you're using my argument against
Well,
Arizona
in
that
the
you're
case
doing
of
for.
Alabama and Georgia, they're both undefeated. And other than the Alabama-Florida game, Alabama's thrashed every team like Georgia's thrashed every team. So that's why I would say Alabama
Well,
is still.
Bama barely beat Florida.
That's all I'm saying. Other than the Bama-Florida game, Alabama's thrashed every team like Georgia's thrashed every team. What was the Georgia-Clemson score? 10-3.
Yeah.
Georgia beat by one score without actually scoring on offense. The same team that barely beat Georgia Tech and just lost to North Carolina State.
I mean, well, Clemson's defense is not what's in question. It's Clemson's offense.
Yeah, but Clemson is struggling. They barely beat Clemson, and they couldn't score on Clemson. So
Clemson has a real legit defense.
If you're going to say that Alabama played it close with Florida, you have to say that Georgia played it close with Clemson, who Clemson's also losing to no-name, well, not no-name schools, but even smaller schools than Florida. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I really wish we had an Alabama-Georgia game this year, not the SEC championship.
Is there not one?
No, they don't play each other in the regular season most of the time.
They're probably going to play each other in the postseason. So
they got a tough 2-game stretch though.
Bama?
Ole Miss and then A&M.
And it's at A&M this week. No, Georgia plays Arkansas.
Georgia plays Arkansas.
Yeah. When does Alabama play Georgia? No, I see A&M losing by like 30 to Alabama.
I think it's like I think it starts off close and then it pulls away.
I don't think Calzada can score at all. I think we might get a few 3 points, but after that, we don't really touch.
Upset of the year, LSU beating Bama at Bama.
No.
Upset of the year, LSU keeps it within 40 of Alabama at Bama.
Upset of the year, any team keeps it within 40 of Bama.
Until the SEC championship when Georgia hangs a 60 bomb on them.
I mean, I think the SEC championship will still be close. I just see Bama still taking it. When Georgia
come SEC championship time, if they're if that's the game that to be played,
and seeing how
make a bet,
and seeing how close Georgia played Clemson, I'm kind of like, maybe I actually do take Arkansas over Georgia, because I'm like, Georgia is like, yeah, they beat Clemson, but that's like the big thing that they beat. So, I mean, I'm not saying Georgia isn't a talented squad, but Arkansas has been playing some good teams. Or has played a good team as well. Like Georgia's played Vanderbilt, South Carolina, UAB, and then Clemson. Like 3 basically FCS schools, and then Clemson, who's getting shit on in their own conference for the first time in years. So.
All right. Do you have any question of the week?
No. But I still pick Alabama over Georgia. Just saying.
Well, come that time, if they play, might make a bet.
Okay, maybe I'll consider it.
But you're probably gonna be really scared to make that bet when Alabama rolls in there with 1 loss to LSU.
Yeah, and then A&M goes in and wins the Super Bowl.
The Super Bowl.
It's about as likely. Oh, okay. You have anything else to say?
Shave your armpits.
Only bitches shave their armpits.
What?
But only bitches shave their armpits. Real
I
men
don't
don't
shave my
their
armpits, but I trim mine.
I've shaved them before. It's itchy. I'm good.
That's why I don't shave mine. I take a scissor and I trim them down. I don't like it when it sticks out my shirt.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not self-conscious about it, and like the only person that's ever like complained about it is my sister. So
And
it's
me.
like, and so
But your sister is the smartest one in your family.
wow,
That's
fuck
why
yeah.
Daniel was going after her.
Hey,
That's edited out.
we will not tolerate Daniel Sinesio slander. Daniel
You're right.
Sinesio is an amazing person. What?
I haven't talked to him in forever.
I texted him the other day. It was super chill.
All right, I think that's about it. All right, anything else you want to say?
I'm good.
All right, you go fail your economics test.
I will.
All right, until next time, we'll see you again next week, probably about the same time.
Yep.
All right.
See ya. Okay.